Hello, and welcome to this session on how to track your reading and synthesize literature. Today, I'll be walking you through strategies to help you manage your reading, organize what you've found, and go beyond just collecting articles to really engage with and synthesize the literature for your assignments and research. By the end of this session, you should be able to discover strategies for tracking and managing your reading. Compare two practical tools, Excel and NVivo, for organising and analysing the literature you find, and also understand what literature synthesis actually is and why it's essential for academic success. Before we get started, just a quick reminder that this session builds on earlier lessons about searching effectively, evaluating information critically, and using referencing tools. If you missed those or you feel unsure in those areas, consider revisiting them on the library's Learning Hub. Every step will make this session more practical and rewarding. In this first activity, we are asking you to consider the statements presented and tell us how much you agree with each statement based on your experience with the literature so far. There are common problems everyone faces, including information overload, losing track of that perfect quote you saw last week, notes that feel disconnected and fragmented, rereading the same papers over and over, assignments that just list sources with no clear link between them. Please pause the video here to complete the activity and return when you are ready to move on. If you agreed or strongly agreed with any of the statements on the previous slide, then this session is exactly what you need. Tracking your reading has some essential benefits to help you combat those challenges. It helps you avoid duplication and keep a record of not just bibliographic information, but your critical evaluation, notes on methodology and theory, and crucially, the themes you're finding. The process can be simple and doesn't require any specialist software unless you wish to take it that step further, which we will explore shortly. Ultimately, tracking your reading can help shape your workflow, making your studies just that little bit easier. Our first practical tool is the Excel tracker. It's designed to provide a central space to organise the articles or chapters you read. You can record basic bibliographic details, key themes, organise your critical evaluation, and use the tracker to spot links and patterns across your reading. Depending on your Excel skills and confidence, you can also use pivot charts to generate charts or diagrams to visualise your engagement with the literature. However, please note this is not something the library can provide support for. An Excel tracker offers rigour and provides an evidence trail which is essential for high quality academic writing. Before we carry on, if critical evaluation of sources is unfamiliar or you would like to develop those skills further, we would advise you to head to the S5 section of the library's Learning Hub page for further guidance and resources before carrying on with this session. If you would like to explore something more advanced, NVivo is another great tool for literature tracking and thematic analysis. It's particularly useful for larger research projects such as dissertations, or if you want automated coding options. We have a separate session, R11, exploring NVivo in further detail. However, if you would like to watch a short 3-minute video giving an overview of NVivo, please pause the video here and return when you are ready. As part of our one-to-one support, we offer personal support in getting started with NVivo. If you would like to book a 30-minute consultation covering this, please go to the How to Get Help section of the library's VLE page. Now it's your turn. Access a blank copy of the Excel reading tracker from the R9 section and save it to your device. There's an example article called Work, Stress and Play, Students' Perceptions of Factors Impacting on Their Studies and Wellbeing. Take some time to read the article. Remember the scanning and scrolling reading technique that's covered in R8. If you would like to use your own piece of literature to use in this exercise, please go ahead. Try to fill in the basic bibliographic info on your tracker. Identify 3 main themes and enter them into the thematic categories. The key is making this part of your regular practice. It does get easier and more useful over time. Please pause the video here to complete this task and return when you are ready to move on. Your Excel tracker should now look like this. You should have filled in the basic information of the piece of information you are looking at, and also identified three key themes that are running through the literature. For the next step, fill in the critical analysis column on your tracker. The methodology section refers to how the research was conducted, and the theoretical framework column should tell us what kind of concepts shaped the author's interpretation of their research. Remember, if you get stuck, you can always book a one-to-one session with a librarian to cover this ILS skill. Just scan the QR code on the slide. If you're working with large sets of literature, you can export the bibliographic information directly from Scopus into an Excel document. This is a real time saver and a good place to start building on your Excel trackers following this session. If you are unfamiliar with Scopus, watch our demonstration video in the D13 section of the VLE page. Scopus is currently the world-leading academic research database, so we strongly encourage that you become familiar with using it. Before we move on to the final section of the tracker, we need to consider what synthesizing literature actually means and why should you care. Synthesis isn't just summarizing, it's about showing higher level thinking, combining sources to make a new, original argument. It goes beyond description. You're spotting connections and contradictions between sources. You're showing how different arguments fit together, agree, or clash. By weaving ideas together, you make your own contribution, revealing deeper understanding by seeing the big picture and building a stronger argument. That's what really impresses your lecturers and examiners and can help you reach the higher grade boundaries. So you may be thinking, well, how does a reading tracker help with synthesis then? It's not just an electronic filing cabinet, we promise. By thematically organising your reading, patterns and connections between sources become more obvious. You can easily compare methodologies, strengths, limitations, and theoretical approaches. It also encourages you to look for gaps and trends within the literature, and even spot connections between topics that might not seem related at first. Most of all, it keeps you actively engaged with the literature rather than just passively collecting PDFs, which is the foundation for authentic, original academic writing. As you begin to fill your tracker out and identify themes within the literature, consider which authors are discussing the same or similar concepts. Is it many authors or just one or two? Think critically. Why are only two authors talking about a particular concept? Has it not been proven? Or has it already been disapproved by other experts? Maybe it's a new and upcoming topic. Now go that one step further. Which authors share common or opposing findings? Do any authors have a neutral view? And if so, why? Some concepts can be easily related to each other, particularly if they are within the same field of research. However, you also need to consider if there are any links between concepts which may seem unrelated at first. This skill is particularly useful if there is minimal literature in the field as a whole, or if there are minimal related concepts in the field. For example, in ecosystems, various organisms depend on each other for survival and well-being. Each organism contributes to the health of the system. Similarly, in the immune system, there is a need for balance. The immune system must recognize and eliminate harmful pathogens, but it also needs to tolerate and support beneficial bacteria to aid in digestion. There is an overarching theme of balance and mutual benefit in natural systems. Deep synthesis is often about finding those unexpected links. Finally, think about whether your sources use similar or different research methods. For sources that include original research, try to analyze and compare the methods and approaches they used. But also make sure to consider authors like author D, for example, who write about the same topic but haven't actually conducted their own research or collected new data. These kinds of contributions are important to recognize and compare as well. we wrap up this session, let's just recap. By synthesizing your literature, you'll find it much easier to write assignments with clear connections between sources. You'll avoid a duplicated effort and develop stronger, more original analysis. That's how you move from a shopping list review to persuasive, well organized academic writing. Remember, there is plenty of help available to you from the library team, regardless of what stage of study or research you are at. A good place to start is the Library Support Learning Hub page, available from the drop down under Student Info. Our dedicated Learning Hub page will provide you with a selection of self-guided videos or online lessons to help you improve your information literacy skills. And remember to keep an eye out for our skills sessions throughout the year. But if you prefer a more personal touch, or if you're unsure as to what help you might need, then you can get in touch with us in various ways. Either way, we're here to help you get the most out of the resources curated for you in the library and to give you the best possible chances to succeed in your studies. Thank you for listening and good luck with your studies.